Proverbs say, every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better. Let's make Nigeria great again. ICPC, they watch you. I want hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Hello viewers, and welcome to another exciting edition of your program, Corruption Must Go. I am your host, Hawasani Garba. Everybody desires a better society. On the streets, in offices, everywhere, we often hear people talk about the need for a better and corruption-free Nigeria to improve on the quality of life for Nigerians. The big question is, how often do we contribute to the rot by our negative attitudes? Attitudes refer to our mindsets, beliefs, and behaviors towards a particular issue, person, or situation. They influence how we feel and act towards major issues in our environment. Today on the program, we shall be looking at how a corruption-free Nigeria can become a reality by changing our attitudes positively, and what ICPC and other partners have been doing to achieve this. But first, let us join Ruth Awodi as she brings us updates on happenings around the Commission. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. A total of 266 officers newly recruited by ICPC graduated from the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, ACAN, after 6 weeks of intense and rigorous training. The chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, who inspected the officers on parade, said that the event marked a significant milestone not just for the graduates ready to embark upon new professional journeys, but also for the ICPC, which thrives on the fresh energy and perspective each of them brings. Dr. Liu stated that the newly recruited officers had been immersed in a rigorous and dedicated training program that was designed to not only impact knowledge, but also to instill a sense of integrity and justice.
As custodians of integrity and justice, you are entrusted with a duty that demands unwavering dedication, selflessness, and unyielding resolve. You are the guardians of ICPC's future. As you step into your roles, always remember the core values that bind us together as upholders of the law, impartiality, and discipline. In building culture of law enforcement and discipline, let your conduct serve as a shining example to those you serve. Treat every individual with respect and fairness, knowing that in your hands lies the power to inspire trust and confidence in our institutions.
Speaking earlier, the provost of the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, Professor Olatunde Babawale, said the academy received into residence 266 Core 6 cadets of the ICPC for a 6-week induction training designed to adequately prepare the most recently recruited officers of the Commission so they would perform at required levels. The provost, who was represented by an acting director in the academy, Mr. Richard Bello, stated that the course featured drills and regimentation, a crucial aspect of the training to ensure the commission inducts disciplined staff while also keeping fit as required of law enforcement practitioners.
The induction training is a 6-week comprehensive and rigorous course designed to adequately train officers that were most recently recruited by the Commission so they could perform at required levels. This strategy veritably fits into the ongoing capacity building efforts of the leadership of the Commission to ensure that staff of the Academy, staff of the Commission are on top of their game at all times.
ICPC strategic partners in attendance included representatives of Commandant General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, the Nigeria Police Force, and the Commandant 177 Brigade of the Nigeria Army, KEFI, and the Emir of KEFI. In another development, the chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, has charged civil society organizations, CSOs, to see themselves as standard bearers while undertaking their responsibilities with sincerity and passion. Dr. Aliyu made this call in his presentation on civil society's monitoring mechanism for Nigeria's implementation of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC, that took place in Abuja. The ICPC boss stated that the event, which was organized by the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Integrity Watch, CEFTIW, offered a unique opportunity to bring anti-corruption stakeholders together to make concrete positive change.
This event is not just a routine meeting of minds and wishes. It is a testimony to our collective resolve to forge a future where integrity and accountability are not mere ideals, but the foundation of our governance at all levels. We at ICPC believe today's monitoring mechanism embodies our shared commitment to oversight, evaluation, and participation. It will serve as a compass guiding our efforts to eradicate the scourge of corruption that has hindered our national progress for too long. Through this mechanism, we will empower our citizens, fortify our institutions, and demand the highest standard of integrity from all who serve the public trust. To the members of the civil society here present, your role is crucial. You are the standard bearers in this collective journey. I implore you to undertake this responsibility with utmost sincerity and passion. As we move toward this monitoring mechanism, be more than a symbol. Let it be the energy that propels us towards a Nigeria defined by virtues of honesty, fairness, and relentless commitment to doing what is right.
While presenting the monitoring mechanisms, the Executive Director of CEFTIW, Umar Yakubu, outlined the importance of UNCAC in the development of the monitoring mechanisms. He stressed that the focus of CSOs should not be to antagonize government, but rather find a common ground to effectively combat corruption.
Now, if you take prevention as one thing, yes, the ICPC, the EFCC, the Code of Conduct, and everybody has been doing a lot of preventive activities in terms of sensitization, in terms of advocacy. But we from civil society, we feel that if those things, those activities are not reducing corruption, we feel is a waste of resources. I don't know which word to use. Because we can't continue talking and we are not seeing empirical evidence in the reduction of those kind of things. So that's just one baby of one Article 5, because there are about 8 or 9 components under Article 5, under the deficit and explain. So that's why I said this was supposed to be a technical session that will explain all these things so that
He commended ICPC for its lead role in combating corruption, especially in the public sector. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Hawa. Stay with us.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. It is often said that attitude determines altitude. In other words, the way we react to situations is as important as the situations themselves. Government usually proposes and passes several policies and laws for achieving a value-driven society with zero tolerance for corruption. If these laws are obeyed, they would bring about a corruption-free society. The law and order approach, which is common to the fight against corruption, has achieved quite a lot. But to complement it and ensure that there is no repetition of crime, a behavioral change approach has to be adopted as well. ICPC, through its Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, ACAN, and with support of MacArthur Foundation, have commenced a behavioral change campaign using the National Ethics and Integrity Policy and other initiatives. The Provost of the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, Professor Olatunde Babawale, tells us more.
Part of ICPC's mandate has been how we can use integrity to promote anti-corruption. And secondly, the thinking is that the strategy that the Commission had been using, and of course by other anti-corruption agencies, which is what we call the law and order approach, where you identify culprits, you apprehend them, you prosecute them, and they are punished, as the case may be, had worked, but only to some extent. And a need arose as to how we can make the anti-corruption war more effective and more far-reaching than it had been. And that proposal of the adoption of a behavior change strategy was found very appropriate and useful. And so it was from 2021 that we began this advocacy for behavior change, because we also believe that behavior change strategy, if properly implemented or used, would help stakeholders to translate the values prescribed in the National Ethics and Integrity Policy into social and cultural behavior. In this behavior change approach that we have adopted, I did say we trained officials of anti-corruption agencies. We also trained civil society organizations. We also trained chief executive officers of MDAs belonging to government. And the feedback we got has been very positive and heartwarming. The CEOs, for example, have advised that we urge government to make this training compulsory for every appointee of government before they assume office.
You are still watching Corruption Must Go. The Behavioral Change Campaign initiative is driven in partnership with faith-based organizations, civil society organizations, the media, and other partners. Our crew spoke with some of them and they had this to say. Take a listen.
There is no way you can make progress without working with partners. In fact, the fundamental idea in this behavior change project, which is funded by the MacArthur Foundation, is that grantees should work with each other. And that is the only way you can get maximum results. You see, by bringing civil society organizations together as partners and the media to work with the academy on the national ethics and integrity policy was a sure way of ensuring that the message reaches everywhere. When we have community-based organizations, we have the message here, delivering here from Abuja, but we have community-based organizations at the suburbs who attended our training. And it was a train-the-trainer program. And many of them have taken it up from there. So the satisfaction is that working with partners gets us reach a wider audience.
Part of the work we do at RAPA is to encourage a lot of education around building values that ensure there's equity for every citizen. Values around promoting ethical behaviors in society and also patriotism. So we have a lot of collaborations with various MDAs across board to ensure that this awareness reaches all of the institutions that should ordinarily portray what anti-corruption drive should look like. We have fostered collaborations with anti-corruption agencies such as the ICPC to encourage citizens' awareness on values that should ordinarily be exhibited as patriotic citizens of Nigeria. And in so doing, we're working on various policies and trying to promote the provisions of such policies, one of which is the National Gender Policy, which sees to the fact that all Nigerians should generally be empowered, be socially included in all of the activities that government is currently pursuing for the citizens, and the citizens should also be part of this change in an ethical manner.
Basically, behavioral change tries to shift norms, behavior and attitude, and for Accountability Lab we think that is a complementary approach to the enforcement approach of anti-corruption practices. And one way we've tried to do that is we have a program we call the Integrity Icon Awards, where we celebrate very upright civil servants across different states of the Federation. And one thing we've been able to see is they've been able to showcase how their behaviors are being replicated across board, and people see their videos, people see their and understand their stories, and are also motivated to behave like them.
From our perspective, the organization itself is set up as a communication for change center. So it means that what we try to do is use things like edutainment, skits, use advocacy drama messages, as we call them now, to engender change. So how can, and you know Nigerians, so Nigerians are more affected by things that they see, you know, either, so we can be using soft issues, talking about very serious issues, but using very easy to understand mediums like dramas. So we have many different actors come and join us on our Corruption Not in My Country advocacy campaigns, and they speak to the issues. So for example, we can be talking about NEPA and the corrupt practices of people, you know, cutting wires, and then we bring people in and we're like, okay, you know, these are people you know, but they would be passing the message of, so what we try to do again is behavioral change and norm setting. So how can you and me actually stand against corruption in those spaces.
To have the Nigeria of our dreams, there is the urgent need to put on positive attitude towards life, as negative attitudes tend to slow the pace of development in any society. Indeed, our attitude determines our altitude. That's our package for today. You can send in your messages, complaints, and suggestions via our email info@icpc.gov.ng or through our smart number 0800 call ICPC. Also, you can still watch all editions of this program on our YouTube channel, ICPC Nigeria. Thank you for watching. I am Hawasani Garba, saying bye for now.